We're back here on the program, the platform, and we are speaking with Mr. Fred Smith today. You know, a whole lot of Bahamians just want to get rid of as many foreign persons who are here illegally.
They just want to get rid of foreign persons generally.
Generally.
Even though we bring 5 million tourists here a year, you'd think we'd have the good sense to try and find a way of captivating a lot of the human resources, the money, the everything. But Bahamians can't even go into joint ventures with all these tourists. We keep bringing millions of tourists here a year and saying how much better it is in the Bahamas, but we want everybody to leave instead of finding a way of creating opportunities for Bahamians to profit from these non-citizens coming here. And the irony is the Bahamas governments have repeatedly created policies which want to drive Bahamians to the most lowest paid jobs, the lowest jobs on the tier, instead of uplifting Bahamians, educating them, and like in the Arabic states, in the Middle East, and in Singapore, and in the Cayman and Bermuda, and in Turks and Caicos, hiring immigrants at low-paying wages to do the menial jobs. You know, how many Bahamians want to go and collect the garbage?
Yes.
Sweep the streets, pick up the towels on the beach. How many of them want to work in all of these menial? It's not that work is to be classified as good or bad, but there are jobs that people don't like to do. And immigrants in most nations in the world provide that function. And you allow them to integrate, they become part of your population, and your country grows. The Bahamas is a grossly underpopulated nation, you know.
Yes.
Very underpopulated.
Yes.
And so, you know, it's high time we revisit this immigration policy of denying Bahamians the opportunity of economic growth and of being able to enjoy economic opportunities and partnerships and ventures with foreigners. I mean, as Bahamians, we should all want to own businesses and employ a bunch of cheap foreign labor. Why is it that we want to do all the menial tasks? Yeah. We should educate our people and elevate them, not continue to have them pick up garbage.
Bahamians do not know, apparently, that the country is grossly underpopulated, and they look at Fred Smith as being an advocate for immigrants in the Bahamas.
I'm an advocate for human rights. I'm not looking for the Bahamas to be invaded and taken over by non-citizens. I don't have any other passport. Even though I was born in Haiti, I wasn't entitled to a Haitian passport. My mother was British, my father was British, and I was registered at the British consulate, and I was a Bahamian when we became independent. But I have nowhere else to go. You don't have anywhere else to go. Yeah. Bahamian citizens only have the Bahamas, and we should protect its sovereignty.
Yeah, your mother was Jordanian.
Jordanian, born in Jordan. Transjordan was a British protector.
Right. And your father was
Bahamian. Born in Nicholstown, Andros.
Yeah.
What the hell he was doing there, I don't know, because his family's from Exuma.
Okay. So you were born in Haiti, and because you were born to a Bahamian father who was...
A British father.
A British father, yes.
And
because we were all British before independence.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And a British mother.
Correct.
You became...
I was
British.
And under the Constitution, article...
And you lived in the Bahamas before independence as a British.
Correct.
And so you were entitled to citizenship.
Correct. No, I wasn't entitled to citizenship. I was, just like you, in July 10th, 1973.
Yes.
By virtue of certain provisions of the Constitution, you became a Bahamian, as opposed to a British subject.
Right.
Me too, under a different clause. But so nobody gave me, I didn't have to apply to anybody. You didn't have to apply to anybody. You just became.
Right.
And so if you never got a passport, Mr. Jones, because you didn't bother, you didn't feel like traveling around, right? And so this new policy, you're driving around Nassau, you don't have a passport.
Right.
You can't prove you're Bahamian by virtue of your passport. So do you think it would be fair for the immigration department to be able to lock you up, take you out of your car, take you to the detention center and keep you there until someone can come and vouch for you? That's not a process of law. So what I do is try to promote, our rights organizations try to promote process, because process protects rights. And that is, so to allow any government, FNM or PLP, to continue a policy or a process where people are dealt with outside of what the Criminal Procedure Code provides, the Immigration Act or the Constitution, creates opportunities for abuse, corruption, illegal conduct. And that's all we complain about.
Yeah.
Now, a bigger conversation needs to be had about using immigration as a tool of national development. And I've written a paper on that, but that's not, you know.
Yeah, yeah. There are thousands of young people who were born in the Bahamas, who have applied, who have applied for citizenship,
yes,
or permanent residency.
Yes.
Many of them, well, thousands of them, have not been answered.
Correct.
And it is your position then that these people should be left alone until you are able to answer them or to process them.
That's you've summarized it. I mean, that's the reasonable, rational, sensible thing to do. And in the meantime, they should be able to function as normal until November 2014, until Mitchell dreamt up his policy. These people were generally left alone. They got their certificates of identity. They could go and get a visa from the U.S. Embassy.
What you mean?
They could travel. No.
What did Mitchell do to them?
Mitchell announced a policy that henceforth, even though you were born in the Bahamas, if your parents were non-Bahamian, you needed to go and get a passport from that country. So that in the meantime, even though you were born in the Bahamas, you would have a Haitian passport. And so thousands of people have been locked up in these raids, have lost their homes, lost their possessions, because what they've done is treated them as if they have committed an offense of not having status. And so
but they had status. The status was that they were Haitian.
No, they weren't Haitian.
Yes,
they
were
were
Haitian.
also entitled to Bahamian. These are people, as you say, thousands of them, born here, and Article 7, without any doubt, provides, upon reaching the age of 18, between 18 and 19, if you apply, you are entitled to be registered as a citizen. There's no dispute about that.
I thought you were entitled to apply.
No, apply and to be registered. It's very simple.
What is this? Article 19?
7. Article 7.
Fine. Yeah, we got to go over this again.
You and I have to, every time.
Yeah, we got to go over this again. Article 7. What does Article 7 say? Put on your glasses.
A person born in the Bahamas, 7.1, a person born in the Bahamas after July 9, 1973, neither of whose parents is a citizen of the Bahamas, shall be entitled, upon making application on attaining 18 or within 12 months thereafter, in such manner as may be prescribed, and there's the forms and everything, to be registered, is entitled to be registered as a citizen. You can look at it again.
Yeah.
You know how many times we've done this?
Yeah, but I want to see this myself. I want to see this myself. Shall be entitled upon making application on attaining the age of 18 or within 12 months thereafter in such manner as we prescribe. Okay.
No. Say it out loud.
Yes.
Let it sink in. Say it out
loud.
Yes. I want you to hear. I want to hear you say it.
Yes.
What is it?
Yes.
Yes. What?
They're entitled upon making application to be registered.
To be registered.
Yes.
No question. So these are. This is like the law of equity. If you agree to give me a lease over this building, but we never signed the lease, right? You could sue me for a specific performance because equity sees that which ought to be done as having been done. I'm entitled to the lease if I pay. So if I apply between the ages of 18 and 19, I'm entitled to my certificate of citizenship. So why are we hounding, harassing, and forcing these people to go and get passports from their mother or their father, and in the meantime, arresting them and rounding them up, and what happens? They put them in the detention center for a few months. They pay $2,500 to get out. They make them go to the Haitian embassy and spend all the money getting a passport that they don't even want. They've never been to Haiti, most of them. They ain't going to Haiti. They don't want to go to Haiti. They have nothing to do with Haiti other than by accident their parents were Haitian. See, this is the problem. And children aren't being allowed to go to school either. There are if you check with any of the administrators of the public schools now, enrollment has dramatically dropped over the last couple of years because they're refusing to allow, despite the Education Act, allow children who were born in the Bahamas to go to public school here. Now, Parliament, our government is entitled to pass whatever laws they want. But why I took great issue with the Prime Minister, because he continues to emphasize how this is going to be a country governed by the rule of law, law and order, and how important it is. Well, if the law provides this, if the law says children born here are obliged to be educated, just abide by the law. In the meantime, you have 35 out of 39 seats. Go and try and amend the law if you want, but operate within the law in the meantime, or else it's chaos. And that's what we have, chaos with the Immigration Department.
Let me ask you, Fred Smith, as an attorney, if you are born in the Bahamas, both of your parents are Haitian, you were born in the Bahamas, you committed some offense. You are 18 years old and you committed some offense. Are you still entitled to citizenship?
Yeah, the law says so. It doesn't say only people who have not committed offenses between the 18 shall be entitled to citizenship.
You committed an offense, and both
if
of
you commit your offense,
yeah.
If you commit an offense, you get tried, you get sentenced, you've paid your dues. Or you paid your fine, or you come out of prison, time, you come out of prison.
And you should get citizenship.
Yeah. Not should get citizenship.
You're entitled to citizenship.
I have been entitled to citizenship since the time I was born. I just haven't got the certificate
No,
yet.
not from the time you were born until when you become
At 18, if I apply, I get it.
Yes. Prior to 18.
I'm a citizen in waiting. And there's no law on our books or in the Constitution that says, oh, Mr. Jones, son of Haitian mother and father, if you commit an offense before you get your certificate, we ain't gonna give it to you.
But listen.
Do we get stripped of our? No. Do we get stripped if you and I are Bahamian citizens, and we commit murder? Do we get stripped of our citizenship? Do we get stripped of our citizenship, or do we go and spend life in jail or get hung?
Yeah,
that's the punishment.
Yeah, but let me back up on this particular point. You say you are a citizen in waiting. Let's say both of your parents came to the Bahamas illegally.
You say that.
Let's assume that happened. That they both came here illegally. They came on a Haitian sloop. They landed somewhere. They came to the Bahamas illegally.
Yes.
You were born. And you were saying, you were born in the Bahamas.
Am I an illegal?
Hold on.
I was born
You
here.
were born in the Bahamas.
Yes.
To illegal people who came here illegally.
This is where...
Wait.
People can't be illegal.
Hold on. Yes, you're legal in the country.
There's no such creature known to the laws of the Bahamas as an illegal. That's another thing with the Prime Minister. Illegals have to leave. Go to all 17 statute books and find any law that says a person can be an illegal. Now, people can commit various offenses. And this is the problem with throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We keep lumping people into these categories. It's like Robin Hood and all the people in Sherwood Forest. They were outcasts, or they were, they had no rights. There is no... If you go to the fundamental rights provisions of the Constitution, and this is what's so fundamentally important, Article 15. Article 15 doesn't say, whereas every Bahamian is entitled to the fundamental rights and freedoms. It says every person in the Bahamas. It doesn't say every Bahamian citizen. It doesn't say anything of every person. And so our Constitution, our Declaration of Human Rights, applies to every person. So every person, there can be no illegals. Every person is presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Let me finish the point.
All right.
The point is that you are born in the Bahamas.
Of parents from abroad.
Both of your parents were illegal immigrants in the Bahamas at the time you were born.
Go ahead.
You are saying to me that you are a citizen in waiting.
Yes.
Even though both of your parents came to the Bahamas illegally, remained in the Bahamas illegally, and because you were born in the Bahamas to these illegal immigrants, that you are still a citizen in waiting and that the government can do nothing with you, and that when you reach the age of 18, you are entitled to citizenship upon making the application. That's what you say.
Fred Smith doesn't say that. Article 7.1 of the Constitution says that. I don't need to make this up. So you've just explained to everybody what the law of the land is. And in the meantime, I can't be picked up. I can't be prevented from going to school. I can't be prevented from having a travel document. I can't be prevented from medical attention. I can't be prevented from having a license. I can't open a bank account. I can function as a constructive person in the community. What are you saying? So all these people must remain outcasts. So we don't educate them. We don't let them work. We don't let them contribute to the tax base. We keep them poor, ignorant, uneducated, and they become a criminal outcast class. But that's what we're doing, you know.
Yeah, but the law can't make too much sense here, because Fred.
You know, I didn't do this, you know.
Yeah,
A.D. Hanna, Orville Turnquest, Sir Lyndon, George Smith, all of these people went to London and negotiated this document.
Listen, this is 2017.
Yes.
Your parents came to the Bahamas illegally in 2016.
Yes.
You were born in 2017. The government wishes to have your illegal parents, parents who came here illegally, they wish to have them deported.
So they should arrest them. They should process. If they've just arrived, they should arrest them. They should take them before a court, prove that they were here illegally, and as I said, the immigration...
And what about the child?
The child will normally go wherever if they're deported, the child will go with the parent.
Right.
But when
you were saying that once the child, once the child gets 18,
he can apply to be registered as a citizen.
And will be entitled to citizenship.
Correct. There's no residency requirement here. I am Bahamian if I'm born here. That's what I take issue with this Dominica situation. It's better in the Bahamas for children born in Dominica than for children born in the Bahamas. Right now, the government wants to kick out children born in the Bahamas, but wants to bring in children born outside of the Bahamas. Does that make any sense to you?
We take a break here on the program. Fred Smith, our guest on the program. We'll come right back.